an animal lamb.
Firefighter Lenny Rouse adopted the kitten he saved. He called it Smudge, fire brigade slang for a small fire. And that's it. We hope you've enjoyed Caught on Camera. The address to send tapes for future programmes is coming up. But if you should find yourself in a situation like those you've seen tonight, don't push your luck. For now, goodbye.
And that was the last in the present series of Caught on Camera.
If you have a tape you think we'd be interested in for future editions of Caught on Camera, please send it to Caught on Camera, LWT, the London Television Centre, London SE1 9LT. And mark your name and address clearly on the tape so we can return it.
Oh, look, it's Villains Are Us.
The British Comedy Awards' best ITV comedy is back.
I've got bottling! She thinks I'm after your body.
You've got you sussed all right.
Next Friday night.
What a stuck-up yuppie like Gillian want with someone like him.
Starring Brian Conley.
No.
She was. You're jealous because she fancies me. Donna, this ain't what it looks like.
Next Friday, 8:30, the first in a new series of Time After Time.
And coming up next tonight here on LWT, ITN update the news and sport and tonight's winning lottery numbers. We join Carol Barnes and Graham Miller after the break.
Like nature, your skin renews itself by shedding the outer cells. New from Nivea Visage comes a new day cream with natural AHA complex. It gently stimulates the skin's top layer, revealing the younger skin beneath. New day cream with natural AHA complex from Nivea Visage.
Listen carefully. You're about to hear something you won't hear very often. The Rover 600 series. Cars built this well are few and far between.
This is our cat.
The Jackie is definitely spoilt for choice with Whiskas. I think the surprises from Whiskas is that they're all very different. Super meat, select cuts. And now we have fine cuts, which is slices in soft golden jelly. The jelly looks good and nourishing, and Jackie agrees. You can see why fine cuts is called fine cuts.
Whiskas fine cuts in jelly. Cats would buy Whiskas.
Pure, soap-free, hypoallergenic. Introducing Neutralia Derma Protection, the new shower gel from Laboratoire Garnier. Pure, pH neutral. Neutralia does not irritate even sensitive skin. Soap-free with a hard water softener, Neutralia cleanses without drying.
My skin feels soft, supple and moisturized.
New Neutralia Derma Protection shower gel. Formulated and controlled by Laboratoire Garnier, Paris. For the respect and natural health of your skin, even sensitive.
The government seems set for a humiliating defeat in the local elections that are now almost on us. For month after month, the Tories have trailed far behind Labour in the polls. The so-called feel-good factor is conspicuous by its absence, and the splits over Europe have yet to heal. So what, if anything, can the Tories now do to save their bacon? To find out, join me, our studio audience, and the Cabinet's Thatcherite-in-waiting, Michael Portillo.
That's Jonathan Dimbleby, Sunday at 1:10 past.
This is LWT. In 15 minutes, Mike Yarwood, Jack Tinker and Sir Tim Rice join Tarbuck Late. But now, the news and sport from ITN.
Good evening, you're watching the news and sport from ITN. Tonight's headlines. Irma, the injured Bosnian girl whose courage inspired an airlift, has died. And John Major tells the Tories we've got a fight on our hands.
And the Saturday night sports headline, Cambridge celebrates with the splash as they win the boat race again.
Irma Hadjimarutovic, the badly wounded Bosnian girl who captured British hearts when she was flown here for treatment, died today. Irma, who was 7, was seriously hurt in a mortar attack in Sarajevo nearly 2 years ago. She spent the rest of her short life in London's Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. The Prime Minister said today he was saddened by her death.
These were the pictures of Irma in Sarajevo that led to the personal intervention of John Major and a British rescue mission to Bosnia. At the time, the public demanded nothing less. Her father had done all he could. Irma's mother had been killed outright in the mortar attack which left her so close to death. Within days, UN red tape had been cut and Irma was on her way to Britain and the best care London's Great Ormond Street Hospital could give her. It was a rescue mission to be repeated in the days that lay ahead. Operation Irma, to help other victims, was already being planned. The British doctor who was on that initial airlift spoke tonight to ITN.
I'm very sorry to hear that a young girl like her, who had her whole life before her and who from all reports was a very kind and loving girl, should have finally succumbed to her horrible injuries. But I can't say that I'm entirely surprised because the injuries were very severe.
Irma was never told she'd be unable to walk again, nor that her mother was dead. In the last few days, she couldn't eat and died this morning of a blood infection. One doctor said of her today, she won the hearts of everyone. Her courage in dealing with her injuries was an inspiration to us all.
John Major said today he would fight hard to win the next election, calling on the party faithful to back him and unveiling plans to woo new voters. The Prime Minister promised tax cuts and a crackdown on crime. But the Labour leader Tony Blair said the Tories were on the run. He told his supporters that Labour was setting the political agenda. This report from our political editor, Michael Brunson.
In the end, there was no great new policy initiative from Mr. Major. Instead, a detailed explanation of the way existing Conservative policies should be carried forward. Among other things, Mr. Major promised to cut income and inheritance tax, to extend home ownership, to set up more grant-maintained and nursery schools, and to introduce tougher regimes in prisons and for young offenders. It was, he said, all about fighting, as he had always fought.
But I didn't fight my way from a small terrace flat to this platform just for the hell of it. You don't just drift into Downing Street. I'm there because I care, and I believe, and I know that this country can be a better place for all of us.
But even as Mr. Major was receiving his ovation in Birmingham, Tony Blair was not far away in Derby, attacking the Conservatives' message.
They have nothing left to say except the same old promises recycled in ever more desperate terms. And it's too late for them to get back in touch.
The difference between the speeches was this. Mr. Major said he was basing what he said on what he called copper-bottom mainstream conservatism, not some off-the-peg philosophy like Labour's. But Mr. Blair said that he was addressing not just those whom conservatism had failed, but the aspirations of ordinary people too. Michael Brunson, ITN, Birmingham.
Air accident investigators have found the black box flight recorders, which may hold the clue to yesterday's Romanian Airbus crash. All 60 people on board died when the plane came down shortly after takeoff.
This morning, orange-suited Airbus investigators arrived from France to join police and soldiers in the search through wreckage. The wife of the railway station master at Balatesht, who watched the aircraft burst into flames, told us the first explosion happened in midair.
After the boom, after the first boom, she see fire, the big fire.
Investigators said that even with the discovery of the black boxes, it would take a long time to establish the cause of the crash. They refused to comment about the possibility of a bomb on board. The visitors, though, who came to pay respects, concentrated their thoughts on the victims, not the causes. Relatives clutched photos of the ones they'd lost. Her son was the security marshal aboard the Airbus. He was just 23 and should have been married soon, she said. Now all I have are my pictures of him. Terry Lloyd, ITN, Bucharest.
Scotland Yard said tonight it's investigating fresh evidence about the disappearance of Lord Lucan more than 20 years ago. It's claimed Lucan was spotted with friends 17 hours after the last reported sighting of him. The allegation casts doubt on the theory that he killed himself after the murder of his children's nanny. The mother of a British man on death row in the United States said today she was devastated that the Prime Minister won't intervene in the case. Nicholas Ingram, who's 31, is due to be electrocuted on Thursday for murder. Mr. Major said there was nothing he could do to stop the execution. Army experts say they're galloping ahead with efforts to defuse a wartime bomb at Portland in Dorset. They hope to have made it safe by tomorrow night. 4,000 people have been evacuated from the area in the biggest operation of its kind since the Second World War.
Crouched above 1,000 pounds of 50-year-old TNT, Captain Mike Lobb has become Portland's hero for a weekend.
My family are quite concerned about me, obviously. Mothers always are. But I've told everybody else I put a clean pair of pants on.
The presence of the bomb has rekindled a wartime spirit here. The island's been on the move since dawn. Over 4,000 people moved to safer accommodation. One resident determined to see the cause for herself.
I was probably here when it came down, so I see the last of it.
By noon, all save a handful had gone. Behind the deserted streets, Captain Lobb had only the gulls for company as he successfully removed the bomb's clockwork fuse, but not the risk of explosion. It'll be some hours yet before the all clear is sounded. Robert Hall, ITN, Portland.
Now, today's sports news, and with the details, here's Graham Miller.
Cambridge won the University Challenge on the Thames this afternoon. The clear favourites beat Oxford by 4 lengths in the 141st University Boat Race for their 3rd win in a row.
Oxford, the rank outsiders, had just one chance to upset the odds. They were never expected to win on form, but if they crowded Cambridge early in the race, they might just have upset their rhythm. And for a while, it almost worked, as the Oxford Cocks steered a dangerous course, getting an umpire's warning in the process as oars almost touched. But by less than halfway, Cambridge had beaten off the challenge. By Hammersmith Bridge, they'd moved into a clear lead. By the time they reached the calmer stretches of the Thames at the finish, the light blue boat was 12 seconds ahead. Oxford were left with the bitter taste of defeat. For the Cambridge Cocks, though, a victorious taste of the Thames.
What's it like in that?
Come in, I'll show you. If anybody wants to come in and find out what it's like.
So a hat-trick for Cambridge, for Oxford, a big rebuilding job. Peter Staunton, ITN, Mortlake.
Blackburn Rovers went 6 points clear of Manchester United and the top of the Carling Premiership with victory at Everton. Chris Sutton scored after just 16 seconds. Alan Shearer got the second, his 34th of the season. Brian Roy and Stan Collymore got 2 apiece as Forest condemned Wednesday to their worst ever home league defeat. And John Hartson scored twice as Arsenal found their scoring boots at last. Blackburn then 6 clear with just 7 games to go now. United play Leeds tomorrow, Newcastle got a point at Chelsea, Forest have closed the gap on them to a single point. Middlesbrough maintained their 4-point lead at the top of the First Division. They came from behind to beat West Bromwich Albion. Alan Moore, their hero, he made 2 and got the 3rd himself. In Scotland, Gordon Durie scored the first for Rangers at Tannadice. The champions need just 5 more points from 6 games for their 7th title in a row. Wasps upset the form book against Leicester to earn a place in the final of Rugby Union's Pilkington Cup. The boot of England's prolific scorer Rob Andrew was once again decisive. His penalty in the dying minutes secured victory for Wasps. They'll meet Bath in the final at Twickenham next month. Another England player, Jonathan Callard, was also in fine form as Bath comfortably saw off Harlequins at the Stoop. Semi-final day also in Rugby League's Silk Cut Challenge Cup. Wigan already through to the final at Wembley. They'll be joined by Leeds, whom they beat last year. Leeds ran in 7 tries at Ellen Road, including 2 from Jim Fallon to see off Featherstone Rovers.
Finally, the organisers of the National Lottery say 2 people are expected to share tonight's record jackpot of more than £22 million. The 6 winning numbers are 22, 25, 30, 32, 41 and 43, and the bonus number is 29. More than £25 million was raised for charity this week. That's it tonight from Graham and me and the ITN team. Good night.
Good night.
Hello, good evening. Tomorrow is going to be pretty much like today, and that's good news for most of us at least, because in much of Britain today it's been dry, warm and sunny. Temperatures just about reached 15 or 16 in parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland, but it was further south that we really hit the top of the thermometer. Temperatures 20 in places, that's 68. A touch cooler in the west there, where we had misty low cloud, and that's certainly there again tonight. A lot of low cloud in the west. Most of Britain dry though. Just in the northwest of Scotland the cloud is thick enough to produce some light rain, and it's a mild night everywhere. Now on to tomorrow. Some low cloud to start the day, but it won't last very long. The sunshine soon coming through. Even in the west there'll be some good brighter spells at times. The northwest hanging on to the thickest cloud and spots of rain and drizzle. Now tomorrow's temperatures. Well, in the west, where you may find the cloud lingering, temperatures there probably 13 or 14. That's just 57. But it's very warm indeed further east, where you will have the best of the sunshine, typically around 17 or 18, and that's about 64. One or two places perhaps hitting 21, and that's 70 degrees Fahrenheit. A very warm day. Good night.
Power gen. Generating electricity for homes and industry, whatever the weather.
As the government braces itself for a backlash over its benefits shake-up, GMTV will be talking to the man at the eye of the storm, Social Security Secretary Peter Lilly. Is he the scourge of the scroungers or benefits butcher? Decide for yourself this Sunday, 7 o'clock, GMTV Sunday programme.
Good evening. What a gorgeous day it's been today. I know some parts of the region have peaked temperature rise at 20 Celsius, 68 Fahrenheit. And if this is April, I think I'm going to like it. Now, the mild conditions continue tonight. Quite cloudy to start off with, but staying dry. Minimum temperatures 8 Celsius, 46 Fahrenheit, perhaps a notch higher in London. Now, tomorrow morning, don't let that low cloud put you in a miserable mood, because as the temperatures rise, that cloud will soon clear, getting us into the afternoon, which is even better than today, if that's possible. 18, 19 Celsius, 20 if you're very lucky. Now, I think it's going to be a great day tomorrow. That's it from me. Enough good weather for one day. Here's Tarbuck Late.
The Volkswagen Golf L. It comes with power steering, immobiliser, just in case someone should try and make off with it. Driver's airbag, because you never know what's round the next corner. And 2 years free service and maintenance. Not that a Golf takes much looking after, of course.
You know why I always have Tic Tac with me? Simple. Because one tiny Tic Tac refreshes my breath for 2 hours, and Tic Tac has only 2 calories. So I can have 2 hours of Tic Tac freshness in just 2 calories. Great, huh?
Tic Tac. 2 hours of freshness in just 2 calories.
Live and exclusive. Sunday afternoon at 4:30. The Coca Cola Cup. And it's in! By Fowler! The final. Liverpool versus Bolton. A classic David and Goliath clash. From Wembley, the Coca Cola Cup final. Live and exclusive Sunday, 4:30.
This is LWT. At midnight, we step out in style with Lily Savage, live from the Lilydrome, after Tarbuck Late.
Oh, Forrest, life is like a box of chocolates. What a load of cobblers.
Rock and roll! Thank you! Thank you very much. The boys! Thank you very much. Thank you.